People, welcome to Newspaper Breakdown. It is the 26th of the 1st. I hope we're all shitting rainbows. Few news stories to go through, some interesting stuff as always. We'll start with Home Secretary Suella Braverman. She's back in the news, which is fun. You know, it's always going to be light-hearted and entertaining for all of us when she gets back into the news. She's confirmed that she is dropping 3 key reform commitments made after the Windrush scandal, because fuck them, I assume. Dropped are 2 changes that would have increased independent scrutiny of the Home Office's immigration policies, and the third is a promise to run reconciliation events with Windrush families. The 2 that would have increased the independent scrutiny is the introduction of a migrant commissioner who would be able to speak on behalf of migrants, and a review of the remit and role of the independent chief inspector of borders and immigration would have given them more independence to be able to set out inquiries into particular problems that the Home Office faces, but they're all gone. Even though 3 years ago it was promised by the government, last week, the start of the month, The Guardian brought out this particular piece of news, and a minister straight away said that it was wrong, that this wasn't going to happen, except it did. These recommendations were accepted, as I say, 3 years ago by the government after an inquiry into the Windrush scandal, when the Home Office, of course, classified legal residents in this country as illegal immigrants for some fucking reason and attempted to deport them all, the majority of them coming from the Caribbean in the 50s and 60s. It's just another showing that the Home Office does not care about people. This government does not care about people, and the idea that they do is wrong. All they want to do is keep people out of the country. Doesn't matter how they do it, doesn't matter if they are legal in this country. The continual claim that, you shouldn't come over to this country illegally when you have no legal safe routes. Every single one of them is soulless. It's simple as that. And this is another showing that they don't care if they make a mistake. They do not care if they do wrong to people, because all it is just wait enough time. Say you're going to do something, wait enough time, and then fucking ignore it. It's the same that's happening with Grenfell at the moment. It's the same that's happening with Windrush. It's all about, like, if we give it enough time, that will do. Because don't forget, when Windrush happened, we cared. We gave a fuck, did we not? This is terrible. This is disgusting. This is racist. You can't do this. 3 years later, they're going to ignore all of the recommendations. And what are we going to do about it? 7 shades of fucking nothing. The head of the HMRC has told MPs that they do not penalise people for innocent errors, which places more pressure on the Tory party chair Nadhim Zahawi, who, after being fined for about £5 million from the HMRC, said that it was the error was careless and not deliberate. Now, what this means is that HMRC has said that what they do not do is, if someone's made an innocent mistake on their taxes, they do not penalise them for it. Zahawi said that what he did is he made a careless and not a deliberate mistake. Yet he got fined for it. He was given a penalty. Now, if the HMRC say that they do not do that, and Zahawi saying, well, this is what I did, someone's lying. Now, I am not going to say I am 100% sure who. Could it be the head of the HMRC, or could it be a Tory? Who knows? Who could possibly guess which one of the two is lying out of their arse? Someone who's a tax-dodging bastard, or the HMRC? Who knows? Who knows? It's not for me to say. I cannot claim which one it is. Who knows? Probably the fucking Tory. We've got the former chief economist of the Bank of England has warned of more pain to come for households and the economy as mortgage rates increase, hitting people's bank accounts and their ability to spend. At this point, when him saying more pain to come, I assume that a lot of the Tory front benches have orgasmed. Interest rates have gone from 0.1% in November 2021 all the way to 3.5% in December 2022. That is a massive rise in a very short space of time. Interest rates tell you how high the cost of borrowing is or the rewards for saving. Of course, if interest rates go up, then if you've got money in a savings account, that interest rate should go up and you'll get more money, you'll get more rewards for saving money. The raising interest rates is an attempt to curb high inflation. Inflation is as high as it's been for a long time. If you raise interest rates, it makes it more expensive to borrow and also makes it more expensive to then spend. And if it's more expensive to borrow, you tend to save. If you are saving more, you're spending less. If you're spending less, then the cost of things go down, supply and demand. Cost of things go down, inflation tends to go down. That's the idea of the constant raising of interest rates. What have we also got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 stories left. Okay. A man has been charged with assaulting former health secretary, wannabe celebrity, and incompetent manslaughterer, Matt Hancock, on the London Underground. It's a difficult one, this one, isn't it? Because the first point is, oh, thank Christ, yeah, it's damn, he's a cunt, get him. But then you have to think of David Amos and Joe Cox, two MPs who were murdered because they were MPs. And so you have to take into account the violence begetting violence. Now, do not get me wrong, I would get Matt Hancock, Boris Johnson, everyone who's taken a VIP lane contract to give us Duff PPI, and I would get all of the 200,000 plus victims of COVID, and I would drown all of these bastards in the blood of the innocent that die because of their incompetence. Do not get me wrong, I think it would be one hell of a fucking pool party. But we do have to be better. So although I understand the difficulty of seeing someone like Matt Hancock and not punching him in the face, we shouldn't go to if you want to change the world, if you want betterment, you have to be better. It's difficult, and I'm full of rage. I am mostly rage, so I 100% get the thought process of just fucking kill him. Like, you'd be on the side of Guy Fawkes if he wasn't a religious fundamentalist. Like, I get the idea of destroying Parliament. I get the want for it. The idea of slapping fucking Boris Johnson until your hand falls off and then just using the stump to... Actually, I get it. But we do have to be better. Otherwise, you're just playing into their hands. Because the more times things like this happen, the more rules they'll be able to put in. That's how. It's all for safety, safety. It's a very dangerous game. Anyway, UK Climate Minister Graham Stuart, who claimed recently that not all fossil fuels were the spawn of the devil, received campaign donations from one of the largest fuel distributors in the UK. Of course he fucking did. This is what they do. You get money, and then that's your opinion. You get paid your opinion, that's it. As a climate minister, he is responsible for the net zero strategy and low carbon generation, and is the Commons leader for clean heat. This is someone who believes that fossil fuels are fine. Stuart has also claimed that new oil and gas licenses are good for the economy. Good for the environment, good for the economy. Silly boy. Good for the environment. In 2019, he got a 10k donation towards his re-election bid from J.R. Ricks and Son, a Hull-based business involved in distribution and sale of fuel, including oil, diesel, and petrol. Again, this is who they are. This is who MPs are as a whole. There is no integrity in politics. They need money to be able to fight for re-elections and stuff like that. And so they get donations. You get a big enough donation, you get to be the puppet master. They've got no morals, they've got no backbone. You give them 10 grand, you can get your hand up their arse and fucking move them around. What I think we should do is, for elections, is have a set amount that all MPs are able to spend. So for parties and everything, say like 5 mil for a party. So everyone gets 5 mil, and then you get to go. I think that would be fairer. Certainly be fairer. And the less money, the better. Let them be more innovative. That's it. Right, 2 stories left. Yeah. Due to the economic downturn, the cost of living crisis, and the ability to access good quality contraception via GPs and sexual health clinics, which have been affected by the wider NHS crisis, the UK is facing a crisis point in abortion provisions. This is according to Dr. Jonathan Lord. He's the director of MSI Reproductive Choices UK, a major provider of abortion services. Women are forced to travel hundreds of miles for appointments, or waiting several weeks to be seen. You may have noticed, if you watch more than one of these, that it seems nearly every day there is a new story on how women's health is being absolutely bent over and fucked. It is ridiculous. Every day there seems to be a new one of saying, you know who we could screw over? Fucking women. Madness. A report by the Royal College of something and gynecologists. I'm not great with words. Obstetricians, that's it. Obstetricians and gynecologists, published in November, said that the commissioning for abortions and insufficient funding had resulted in poorer standards of care for women and marked variations across the UK, with women accessing abortion in many areas being denied the rights they should expect from the NHS. So not only do we have women being removed their choices, having their choices taken away, but you're also getting inequality mixed in with it as well, because isn't that just delightful? It's not enough just to have gender inequality, you need actual monetary inequality as well. Where do you live? Somewhere that isn't getting enough money? Well, goodbye. And you're a woman? God, I hope you're also not. I hope you're also fucking white, because if not, then you've got 3 different inequalities going into you, and you're fucked. It's just weird. It's backward. That's what it is. It's backward, but expected. None of this is shocking. It shouldn't be shocking for you either. Chronic staff shortages and closure of sexual health clinics during the pandemic, with now there is only 5 UK trusts offering specialist surgical abortion services. If you want to do something to stop it, don't ever come inside someone. If you're a man, that would be help women out, spunk on a knee. That should be the new initiative. Want to help women, spunk on a knee. What a weird thing to say. The Environmental Agency, this is the final story. The Environmental Agency has warned of an increased risk of coastal flooding, with dredging likely to increase, and the English coast, around the English coast. So dredging is likely to increase around the English coast, whilst pollution and sewage are piling pressure on coastal ecosystems. Basically, the EA is saying that, as it's been said in the past, our waters are fucked, our coast is fucked, we haven't put any money into it, we have water companies that are seemingly allergic to the concept of water and want to cover us in shit, like we are about to be eaten by a fucking cannibal. And there are things to do with it that can improve, but a lot of it's money. So just pumping money in doesn't help. Ain't gonna hinder at all. There should be one tomorrow. It'll either be, there may not be, because I've got something I have to do, but if I can get this done early enough, then there will be. If not, I will see you Monday. Have a good one. Bye.